welcome to another episode of Rusted Up Garage. What do we have here? Well, I'm going to tell you in just a minute what we have here. But first, I want to remind you to hit the subscribe button, hit the like, and hit the share. We're gaining subscribers, and we can use more so we can continue with content. And speaking of content, this is coming very soon. And what may we have here? This is probably the most luxurious car I own. Okay, this right here is a Jaguar. You can tell by the Jaguar on the hood, basically. But we just picked this old girl up and figured we'd do a quick introduction and walk around. Maybe talk about the future plans of the old Jaguar. Let's get up here. Really, let's just do a walk around with this thing, Zach. So what you have here is your basic Jaguar. It's a little rough. The seals are basically all blown around all the windows, around all the seals. This is the rear window one right here. Now this right here, fellas, this right here is for weight reduction. For tire smoke to come out. What we're thinking. Maybe tire smoke come out of that. So you walk around. It has this really nice big bumper back here. Which, it's big. Keep coming around. This side's a little greener than the other side. You can basically tell by the way that it is. So let's continue. I think we need to go to the trunk first. The trunk tells you all the stories about the rig. Come on back here. Well, for one, it has these. There's one here. And there's one here. Now you may ask yourself, what are these for? They're for holding the American flags. You just put the flagpole in them, then you can wave the American flags. So those are flagpole holders right there. It's got two, basically one on each side. So we can really wave Old Glory out there when we're cranking on her. It is the retractable. You can't even really tell where it is, except for the last couple inches. And it is the XJ6 model. It says so right there. We're gonna open up this fine trunk and, well, there's not really much in here. She has some old registrations. This is a 2010 registration, which never made on the car. So the car really hasn't been drove in 12 years or more. Yeah. Now she is a 1987 model. And right now it does have the dual fuel tanks. That's actually what's back here. You got a fuel tank 1 and a fuel tank 2. And she has some carpet and such. And it has, look at that. That's the wood grain package right there. That's pretty nice. It's got the full wood grain package. It's got electric digitals back in there. I'm not really sure what those are, but I'm pretty sure we don't need those where we're going. I think next we're going to move on to the cockpit. Play our peepers in here and just see exactly what we're working with. Let's open her up. She's pretty stout. About as stout as that truck right there. Smells like rotten wood, old car, and musty bed sheets. It's kind of what I got going. We might just open up the next door just to give it a minute. Possibly. So inside here, it's got the high-end leather seats that are de-stitching themselves. And let me grab this sucker here. It's got the removable headliner, the type that's basically removing on itself currently. It has the high-end wood inside that at one time was probably, pretty luxurious. Now it's just, maybe we'll sell these pieces. Jaguar interior trim. It's got the old Jaguar boombox in her. Ooh, look at that. Zach opened up this side right here. It's got the, wow, that's nice. That's like, she's just getting better and better. Well, let's just say the interior is far from impressive anymore. Now, at one time, this probably was good, but she's been sitting an awful long time. Let's open up the back and see what we got. See what we're looking at back here. Oof. We found the mold. Found the mold. Found it. It's right there. It's we've got a top, an engine top, car cover, and it looks like some trim in here. And an air filter. This don't look Jaguar. That don't look Jaguar at all. So it's got, door sills that are nice, and it's got door panels that are relatively nice. It's got a dash that's not really that nice, but I guess we'll continue on. I think at this point, Zach, we probably ought to bring her up and show everyone what's under the old power barn. Now, this is going to shock some of you. And for you Jaguar people, you're probably going to shun me for this one. But I didn't do it. I didn't do it. But whoever did was a very smart man. It's got the old, reversing one, so when you're going down the road, it won't blow up in your face. And if I can get her open, which I probably can, I'm just not a Jaguar technician. I mean, I just don't know. Really. Aha! Now, are you guys ready to lay your peepers out on this? Oh, look at that. That is not Jaguar. Nope. Nope, not at all. That, my friends, would be a 383 stroker with a 700 R4 behind it. Someone converted on this car is basically what I'm trying to say. They made her a Chevrolet under the hood because the Jaguar engine obviously was a piece of junk, and the transmission. Now her backstory is it was built, but it was never really completed and never really ran right. And then when they finally got it running, she lost a camshaft in the engine. So I worked out a deal with the original owner on the old girl, and he wants the motor and transmission back out of it. And so we're going to pull the motor and tranny and give him that back, and then we basically got ourselves a shell. Now, what are we going to do with a Jaguar shell? Well, I can only see one possible solution to do with this car. I think we're going to do an LS swap in this thing as cheaply as possible. We're going to make this the bargain basement car to do burnouts. This is Rusted Up Garage's new burnout car. So we're going to do an LS. We're going to put transmission behind it. We're going to get rid of all these brakes here. because all we need is front brakes where we're going. And then we're thinking maybe some zoomies right out the side of the hood. You know, I'm thinking 4 on this side and 4 on that side and cut them out. That's what I was talking about, that back bumper back there, where it's real big. That's good for wall tapping. So we'll add some pipe. We'll get rid of all the interior minus the dash. Save on the dash because it says Jaguar and we want it to be fancy. Probably do a little cage in it, a couple Kirkleys, and we're gonna find ourselves a nice used LS. Maybe put a Tursky on it and melt the tires off this car. Now she has some rear end problems too, so we're gonna cut the rear end out. We'll 4-link it. We have a Camaro rear end just laying out back. Probably do just fine. So if you got some parts you think that might be good on the old Jaguar, you hit us up. Because we're looking for a cheap LS and a cheaper LS transmission and cheap tires and cheap radiators. And we're basically looking for the cheap parts. You know, we've been building that 55 over there, and that has not been cheap. We're going back to our roots. And we might even wear some boots. Ah! Zach, stop smiling over there. So, first plan of attack is we do got to pull the motor and tranny out of this thing. Now, we did pick this up because that transmission, we're going to borrow it. It's going to go on plan D, which you're going to see here in just a little bit because, as you guys have seen from our videos, 55 didn't make it because, you know, the engine builder didn't get the engine finish in time. It just is what it is, and there's just not enough time, so we're on to plan D or E, I think. But I know it's going to require this transmission. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this thing on the lift after Zach gives her a clean job, because it's dirty. It's very dirty. And once he gives her a clean job, we'll put her on the lift and we'll get this motor and tranny pulled out of here, you know, today. And then you're probably not going to see it for a little bit, so just don't get all like, where's the Jaguar? Okay, you have to be patient with us, okay? We're not made of money. We can't just throw a ton of money at a whole bunch of cars. So we got to acquire stuff. So like we acquired the body. Now we're going to hunt down a cheap LS. Again, if you have a good LS that you're just like, you know, that'd be great in that Jaguar, you hit us up, you know, cheap. Look for cheap. Bargain basement. We're coming. So I think what we'll do is we'll set up the old camera. We'll let Zach give her a power washing, and then we'll bring her in the shop, and maybe we'll show you us pulling the motor out of this thing. And then we're going to be on to our next project for a little bit, because we got to get ready for Hot Rod Power Tour still. That's still out there, and currently we have no vehicle to drive, because, you know we don't need to go over it anymore. But I just want to introduce you to the new Jaguar, and she is going to be a ripper when she's done. I don't know when we're going to burn the tires off from it, but I might get in trouble here somewhere around town. May happen once, twice, or maybe I'll just do it right on my pad at home. My wife would love it if I did that. Well, Zach, you really done a good job. I would say she's at least a lot a bit cleaner than it was. I mean, that thing shines. I mean, look at it. I mean, you can barely tell the paint's faded off from it anywhere. I think you'd made my rust holes bigger though, I feel. But overall, nice. I guess next we gotta get her in the shop and get this motor yanked out of it. Okay, so we removed on the hood so we get the engine. And we're just gonna start blowing the bolts out. Just pick a bolt and start unscrewing it, get the wiring unhooked here real quick, radiator out, and probably cut the exhaust and just snap it about. I mean, you've seen us do this on a few of them. This one should be easy because it's far forward. There's a lot of room in this bag for an engine, so we shouldn't have no problems. I'll have Zach just set us up over there in the corner as a time lapse, and maybe I'll do a little time lapse talking over when we actually do this video, because it's kind of noisy and we need the fans on because it's 168 degrees down here in Alabama/hell. So on to the time lapse, Zach. Okay, we are back from our time lapse. We have gotten everything unbolted for the motor and transmission, and I'm about ready to go grab Forky Pig. You know what Forky Pig is, right? That's right. It's the forklift. It's out there, right there. And hook onto this motor and pick it right up out. Get it out here, split the transmission from the engine, and then get the car out, and then that's probably gonna be it for this episode. But let me go grab Forky Pig, and let's get this motor pulled out. And just like that, Forky Pig just pulled out our third motor. Pretty excited. I know it don't look that, it's a little heavy on the back. You just don't worry about that. But as you can see, it's, you know, there's a lot of room here for activities moving forward. And you're going to be seeing a lot more of this car coming up. You know, it'll be a couple months, so don't get all excited. Again, we're looking for parts. This is going to be the budget burnout car. Not sure what her name's going to be, but right now it's Jag. So, but I want to thank you for following along, checking out our new car. watching us pull the motor and give her a quick cleaning. And next time you see this car, hopefully we'll be, you know, finding a motor for it and starting to build her off as the Burnout Car. But again, keep subscribing, keep liking, keep commenting, and I don't know where we're gonna build next, but I'm pretty sure it'll be an Oldsmobile. So, peace out.